All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Committee of Adjustment, pardon me, for the Township of North Kawartha. It is October 21st, and I'd like to welcome those folks that are joining us in person, as well as those that are online as well. And a reminder to all folks, as you most should know by now, that we do record our meetings and we upload them to our YouTube channel. So just be advised that any comments, any opinions that are expressed during the meeting will be recorded and available for members of the public to hear. Okay, and as we go on, before we begin, I'd like to ask if any member of the committee has a pecuniary interest with any of the matters before us today. Seeing none, I will move forward to adoption of the agenda. Please. Moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? The agenda has been adopted, and I will now declare that we are going into a statutory public hearing for the purpose of hearing two minor variance applications. The purpose of these public hearings is to provide an opportunity for folks to request relief from planning rules and regulations, and it's also an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments on those requests. And while we invite everyone to provide their comments to committee, recent changes to the Planning Act have removed the right of public appeal on committee decisions. As per section 4512 of the Planning Act, only the applicant, public agencies, and specified persons may appeal committee decisions. And for those folks, the 20-day period applies beginning the day the decision is made. So I think I've covered everything. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our planner, Laura Stone. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Chair and committee members. We'll start with minor variance application A-18-25. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance application A-18-25 to vary sections 3.1H and 6.2D to permit a two-story garage with an upper level bunkhouse use with an area of 59.5 square meters and a side yard setback of 1.2 meters, as the application meets the four tests of the minor variance and is in compliance with the 2024 provincial planning statement. So the background is as follows. The address is 87 by Route 52. The owners are the O'Rourke's. The agent is Housework Design Incorporated, and the person that I've been working with is Peter Skorin. It is zoned shoreline residential permanent, and the official plan designation is seasonal residential. So this application is for a two-story garage with the bunkhouse use to be located in the upper level and a reduced side yard setback that is mainly for topographical reasons. This application was measured against the four tests of the minor variance, and it was found that the application is minor in nature. There's still enough room for maintenance of this structure to occur on this subject property should any need to be done. The difference between the height of a 1.5 story and a 2-story is fairly minor, particularly with the shed dormers as illustrated in the report. The application is desirable and appropriate. The garage is located beyond 30 meters from the high water mark. So the visual impact from the lake will be pretty minimal. And there, of course, there's no kitchen facilities, keeping it a true bunkhouse. It does meet the intent of the official plan as recreational uses, and in this case, recreational permanent or seasonal residential permanent, do allow for accessory structures. And it does meet the intent of the comprehensive zoning bylaw because bunkhouse uses are permitted to be located within a second or upper story of a garage. This application was also measured against the provincial planning statement, and it was found to be in conformity with the objectives of the PPS. In conclusion, the minor variance application meets the four tests of the minor variance and is consistent with the intent of the provincial planning statement. The application is representative of good planning and should be approved with the following condition. And just before we discuss the conditions, this is also a condition that the building department would put on the building permit. So it's not something that would be unexpected at some point during the process. And it's that the setback to the side lot line be confirmed by an Ontario land surveyor. I have heard no comments from any agencies or neighbors. And if the committee has any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Okay, thank you very much, Laura. At this point, I would ask if the applicant or the applicant's representative would like to speak and provide further information to what was provided by Laura. And we don't see any indication that anybody online is here to speak for this, and there's nobody in our gallery. And as Laura said, she hasn't received any comments, written comments or submissions regarding this. So I'm going to turn it over to members of the committee. Questions, comments, or a motion, please? Anyone? Bueller? Ruth Ann?
I would move the recommended motion to approve minor variance A 1825 as it meets the 4 tests of the minor variance with the recommendation that the side yard setback be confirmed by an Ontario land surveyor.
Okay, is there a seconder for that, please? Seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? That's approved. All right, thank you very much. And we're on to the next one, please, Laura.
Thank you very much. So this one, I'm going to take the committee back to 2023 with minor variance application A-13-23. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance application A-13-23 to vary section 3.6 to both recognize the existing footprint of building number 2 as illustrated on the attached site plan and to permit an increase in the maximum height of building number 2, which is located in the floodplain, as the application meets the 4 tests of the minor variance and is in compliance with the 2024 provincial planning statement. So this application is coming back before the committee members in 2023. 2 of the 4 requested reliefs for variance were approved and 2 were not spoken to. So this is to correct that error that occurred. So essentially, this is a continuation of that application. The address is 2620 Stony Lake Island 54. The owner is Tim Gray. Shoreline Residential Island is the zone, official plan designation, seasonal residential. So when measured against the 4 tests of the minor variance, it was found that the application is indeed minor in nature. The application is desirable and appropriate. The application does meet the intent of the official plan, and the application does meet the intent of the comprehensive zoning bylaw. In addition, the application was measured against the 2024 provincial planning statement, and it was found to be in conformity with the directives of the PPS. Just to broadly state, it's using the request is to use an existing footprint, but to increase the height to a maximum of 14.1 feet from 12.3 or something like that. So it's a relatively minor change in terms of development. I have not received any comments from any agencies or neighbors, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thanks, Laura. And once again, I'm going to ask if the applicant or the applicant's representative would like the opportunity to speak and perhaps add further information to what has been provided by our planner. And I see, Mr. Taylor, you've unmuted yourself. I'm just going to see if you want to start your video. And oh, there you are. You're popping up. Good morning, sir. Welcome, and please go ahead.
Good morning. I'm usually not dressed in this attire for this particular type of committee meeting. I do have a Superior Court matter scheduled for 9:30, so that's the explanation. I will be very brief, and I concur with the recommendations found in the planning report that you have dated October 5th of 2025. We endorse the recommendations that are found in that report. The approval of both of these variances would be in conformity with all applicable planning policies that have been referenced in terms of the report. The approval of these 2 variances would also be consistent with the July 18th, 2023 approval. If you turn down these applications or these approvals, then it would be inconsistent with what was undertaken and approved back in July of 2023. We believe that the variances are appropriate, that they represent good planning. In fact, an improvement to the subject definition of the scope of potential development. And so based upon the criteria found in the Planning Act, we would ask the committee to approve both of the variances. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. Okay, is there anybody here that would like to speak on this application? Any member of the public? I'm looking online and I don't see any indication that anyone wants to provide a comment either in support of or in opposition to. And like Laura said, nobody has provided any written submissions. So we're going to turn it over to the committee once again. Questions, comments, or a motion? Jim?
I just have a question.
Sure.
We approved, it looks like we approved number 1 and number 3. Is that correct? So do we vote on approving the 4 or do we vote on approving
Just the
2 and 4?
Just the 2 that were missed, correct?
So through you, Madam Chair, yes, we are working on number 2 and number 4 in this
Okay.
instance.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments, or I'm looking for a motion, please? Jim?
Yes, I'll recommend the recommendation as stated.
Okay, to approve it, because it meets the 4 tests. Okay, you'll second that? Okay. All those in favor of the motion? That motion is approved. All right, thanks, Laura. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, I'm going to declare that we are out of statutory public hearing. And we just need to adopt the minutes of the previous Committee of Adjustment meeting that was held on October 7th. There are no errors or omissions. Motion to adopt, motion by Jim Whalen, seconded by Ruth Ann. All those in favor? Those minutes have been adopted, and motion to adjourn, please. Moved by Jim O'Shea, seconded by Colin. We are adjourned from Committee of Adjustment. See you at council shortly.